Gaslighting that fat people face is sadly still very real and alive.
Do you think the doctor was wrong with the way he asked her that you need to be on a proper diet? So she went to the doctor's office because she has type 2 diabetes and she had some infection. And the next thing that the doctor asked her was, "Are you sure you're on a proper diet?" And she got very offended by it. Do you think what the question the doctor asked was wrong? Let me show you the video. Then I would like to know your thoughts down in the comment section, respectfully.
Gaslighting that fat people face is sadly still very real and alive. I recently went to the doctor in regards to having an infection and talking about managing my type 2 diabetes, and the doctor just automatically assumed that I do not take care of myself. We start going on about how I need to be on a proper diet. And then I said to him, how do you know I'm not on a proper diet? Because while I'm not going to act like the way I eat is 100% perfect, and yes, I do have a history of, however, I've been doing such a great job of eating my vegetables before I eat my protein and fat, before I eat my starch, and I've been drinking a lot of water, and he also assumed that I do not drink enough water, but I'm a freaking fish. I had to explain to this person that I exercise almost every day. Now, am I powerlifting? Am I doing acrobatics? No, it's more so walking or doing some resistance exercise, but nonetheless, I'm doing it. If I were in a smaller body, I can guarantee you, I would not be accused of not eating well or not taking care of myself properly. The thing is, fat people, we can do everything right, but if the labs don't look great, or if we have, once again, another infection, it's suddenly our fault. Instead of saying, oh, well, clearly you're not eating well because of the way your labs or your frequency of infections are looking, maybe you could say, hey, how is your diet going? Are you eating balanced meals? Let me know about that. But instead, you just automatically assume, especially someone who's been trying so hard to, keep being in recovery from this thing. I can't say it out loud, getting in trouble on TikTok. I'm so proud of the choices that I make. I feel so empowered by my knowledge about nutrition, just to have a doctor just assume the worst. And then you wonder why fat people don't like going to the doctor. If there's anything I could tell you about like the fat liberation community, is that we actually care so much about our health. But the problem is that doctors like to gaslight us. And then in turn, we don't want to go to the doctor. And there's the whole layer of being both fat and a woman. You know that historically and presently, we don't listen to women. We say they're dramatic. We don't take their pain seriously. I shouldn't feel this dread to want to get help, knowing that the person is going to talk over me and act as if they know me and my body and the way I treat it.
The thing is, some people are saying that the doctor was doing his job. Is not being fat phobic. Like, that is not being fat phobic. That is him doing his job. And people are like, if you're actually eating healthy and you're having a proper diet, you should have lost weight. And you having type 2 diabetes shows that you're not eating properly and all of that, that the doctor was not wrong. But then I'd like to know your thoughts. Do you think the doctor was wrong? All right, for asking that kind of question, or probably you should have asked that way, because she kind of mentioned in the video that I probably should have asked that, how is your diet going? Instead of, are you sure that you're in a proper diet? Like, kind of attacking her, making it look as if she's not eating healthy or something. I'd like to know your thoughts down in the comment section while I watch people reactions together, and I'll share my thoughts at the end of the videos.
Somehow we've gotten to the point in times where if a doctor mentions anything about your weight, they're now considered fat phobic.
Medical gaslighting that fat people face is sadly still very real and alive. I recently went to the doctor in regards to having an infection and talking about managing my type 2 diabetes. The doctor just automatically assumed that I do not take care of myself. Going on about how I need to be on a proper diet. And then I said to him, how do you know I'm not on a proper diet?
Because you're sitting in your car severely overweight telling the world you have type 2 diabetes. Doctors aren't fat phobic, they're doing their job. If you walk in with infections, diabetes, high blood pressure, and joint pain, 9 times out of 10 your weight is going to be the root cause. This is not some sort of discrimination, this is common sense. You say you're giving it your all, but the reason it hit a nerve and it stings so much is because deep down you know you're not giving it your all. And the truth always hurts when it exposes excuses. So no, this is not fat phobia, it's accountability. And until you realize that, you're going to keep blaming doctors instead of fixing the real problem here.
gaslighting that fat people face is sadly still very real and alive.
See, the problem in this video and the problem in society today is that self-accountability did not make it in this video at all. He didn't assume, his eyes. You say you're going to manage your type 2 diabetes and that he has your blood work, so he obviously knows your history, and numbers don't lie. If he's looking at your blood work and saying you need to make some changes, then you need to make some changes. And if you're not ready to do that, then you shouldn't be there, especially for type 2 diabetes, which unlike type 1 is not caused by an immune system response, but by your own lifestyle choices. Telling you that you need to make changes to your health to live a longer and better life is not gaslighting. Telling you that you're a size 2 and that all your problems are in your head, that is gaslighting. Your doctor didn't shame you, he simply did his job. Only thing that's shameful is that we've created a society that lets people think that accountability is hateful, that real actions have no real consequences. First step to fixing a problem is admitting that there is one. That's not gaslighting, that's common sense. We need to stop being so offended at the truth, because at the end of the day, our health does not care about our feelings, and neither should your doctor.
Medical gaslighting that fat people face is sadly still very real and alive. I recently went to the
I wouldn't so much call it an assumption as I would call it an educated guess.
diet, and then I said to him, how do you know I'm not on a proper diet?
Because he has eyes. Because weight is actually a very important telltale sign to somebody's health. There's one more thing that she says that I just had to tap out.
I've been doing such a great job of eating my vegetables. I exercise almost every day. Now,
Girl, no you don't. No you don't. And if you are, it's not enough. You are intaking more calories than you are shedding. And the timing of when you eat your vegetables, by the way, doesn't matter as much as the amount of vegetables you eat in proportion to the amount of protein or fat or starch you have on your plate. This is just yet another part of progressivism that just doesn't make any sense, and it's holding you accountable for the food that you put into your mouth. You cannot even be accountable for that, and we trust you to vote?
medical gaslighting that fat people face is sadly still very real and alive. I recently went to the doctor in regards to having an infection and talking about managing my type 2 diabetes, and the doctor, just automatically assumed that I do not take care of myself. He started going on about how I need to be on a proper diet, and then I said to him, how do you know I'm not on a proper diet? Because, well, I'm not going to act like the way I eat is 100% perfect, and yes, I do have a history of. However, I've been doing such a great job of eating my vegetables before I eat my protein and fat, before I eat my starch, and I've been drinking a lot of water.
So as we know, type 2 diabetes is often associated with chronic obesity and the other health problems that come with it. Your doctor is looking out for you. If we're being honest, it is harsh for a lot of people to hear, but he's looking out for you. A few advice that I would give a lot of people who are maybe overweight and when they think about eating, exercise, all these types of things, eat all your protein on your plate first. I do this every meal. It's kind of weird. I know a lot of bodybuilders who do that. All the protein first, then the carbs and starches from there. So to mention as well, like, I'm not saying you have to be a bodybuilder, powerlifter, etc., but aerobic activity, exercise in general is just good for the body. But it's very safe to assume that you often don't take care of yourself considering type 2 diabetes and obesity. And make the changes to switch and better yourself and do better by your body. Oftentimes too, the physical and or present state that you are in is a representation of how you are. Now, you could have lost 30 pounds, 40 pounds, etc. You're still in that state though of being unhealthy. But you are working to get healthier, which is a good thing. Someone who coaches people for a living, weight loss, bodybuilding, all these different spectrums, when I get a lot of people who come to me who are 300 plus pounds and they tell me they eat 1,500 calories a day, I kind of have to sit here and be like, okay, let's be honest here. Write down everything you eat for a couple days, everything, and we'll calculate it, see what you do. They come back and they're at 3,500 calories. The personal accountability will take you much farther and honestly make you less offended by a lot of situations like this. A lot of people look out for you in life. You just might not like their truth and just perceive it as being cruel.
Medical gaslighting that fat people face is sadly still very real and alive. I recently went to the doctor in regards to having an infection and talking about managing my type 2 diabetes, and the doctor just automatically assumed that I do not take care of myself. He started going on about how I need to be on a proper diet. And then I said to him, how do you know I'm not on a proper diet? Because, well, I'm not going to act like the way I eat is 100% perfect. And yes, I do have a history of. However, I've been doing such a great job of eating my vegetables before I eat my protein and fat, before I eat my starch, and I've been drinking a...
First and foremost, they can tell by the blood work. First and foremost, no matter what you try to hide, the blood work going to show it regardless. Also, if you're going to the doctor like regularly, which I'm assuming you do because you have type 2 diabetes, they keep a record of everything. Like, everything. It's like a common sense thing, right? So like if you've been going to them for a while, you've been going to them for a year, let's say that. In your video, you just said that you had a history of binge eating disorder. You just said that. Which means even without blood work, even without doing nothing crazy, if you step on the scale as soon as you get there and your weight is the same as when it was when you was dealing with that, 9 times out of 10, your eating habits haven't really changed as much. You can't hide from being obese. You can lie about how much money you make because nobody gonna see that bank account but you. You can lie about how big your house is because ain't nobody finna go over there unless you invite them. But when it comes to what you're putting in your mouth and how you're treating your body, you can't really hide that. How your body looks is a telltale sign. I'm a living testament of this. I've been in shape. I've been obese. I'm currently overweight right now. It's not gaslighting their doctors. They do this every single day. If your doctor is saying that you need to eat better, you need to eat better.
I feel like when people see fat people, they automatically feel like, you're not watching your weight. You're not hitting LD. Sometimes they feel like, okay, if you, in fact, when you go to the gym, because I go to the gym, right? And you see somebody that is fat and always regular at the gym, and you're looking at the person, you're not adding weight, you're not losing weight, it's like you're adding weight. They kind of want to be, picking on those people that have body weight and be like, why you, it doesn't look like you're losing weight. They expect that drastic change from people that are fat. And sometimes they might be eating LD, even LDR than you, that you are even losing weight, right? So I feel like the way people see fat people automatically is like you're not eating healthy. I feel like that's the way almost everybody see fat people. Like, this person is not taking care of, she's not watching her weight. This person is not watching her weight. This person is not taking care of herself. It's just like somebody that has pimples and acne. There's a time I used to have a lot of pimples and acne back in the years, and people just automatically see you as you're dirty. In as much as I can change my pillowcase every night. There's a particular water I used to wash my face. Like, the kind of hygiene that you have to do when you have a lot of acne and pimples on your face, you that you don't break out, you can't compete with that kind of hygiene. So, but people automatically just say like, oh, you're dirty, you don't have your bladder. Why would you? They kind of look at you like you're not taking care of yourself, or you're not even using products to clear the acne. And you are struggling, and you're doing so many things, but it's not just showing or it's not working. So I kind of get the way she feels because she's working so hard to lose the weight. She's working so hard to eat healthy, but then somebody commenting on the thing and make it look as if you're not even doing anything. Are you sure you're even doing it? Like, I get how she feels, right? But then I feel like sometimes you might feel like you're doing the right thing, but then you might not be doing the right thing. If she feels like she's eating LD, she might not be eating LD. So I feel like she really needs to check on the things that she's eating, how she's eating, and when she's eating, and the exercise that she's doing. Because sometimes when you see people doing exercise all the time, you don't expect that drastic change. And you might be doing exercise, probably in your head, you're like, oh, I do exercise every day. And the food that you eat and the exercise that you're doing is like you're eating more and you're burning less. There's no how you're not going to lose weight. You're not going to lose that weight that you think that you want to lose. So because you're doing exercise does not mean that you have to eat much portion. So in as much as she feels like she's eating her vegetables and all of that, she needs to check portions and probably do intermittent fasting. Like, I just feel like yes, she might be putting in some effort, but she really needs to know that she's doing the right thing. But then I do not think that the doctor is being fat phobic. I feel like it's just asking the question directly just to get her to answer a particular question. Probably he would have asked differently if it was a different doctor, if it was somebody that doesn't want to offend her. But I don't think he's fat phobic. I just feel like I just wanted to ask, like, are you sure? And really, she would have been visiting the hospital and they are checking her weight. So I feel like he needs to ask, but then probably have asked differently so that she's not going to feel hurt because it's so painful when you're putting in a lot of effort to do something and people are not saying it and they're making it look as if you're not doing nothing. You're doing nothing. It can be painful, I know, right? I would like to know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. Do you think the doctor was fat phobic? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, respectfully. As always, your girl Mara Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.